Carvalho, Chapter 3. When I walked into the Beekeepers' Cooperative Society, Mandana and Lakshmana were engaged in a heated argument with someone. Will you swear by God? Mandana shouted. The other man said, You think I'm afraid? Take care. Don't risk your life for the sake of a few paisa. Sir, in the name of Manjunatha of Dharmasthala, I tell you, I'm not cheating. Hey, Manda, buy if you want or send him back. What's all this Ramayana early in the morning? Said Lakshmana. It was then that they saw me standing in the doorway. Both of them sprang to their feet, shouted, Namaskara, sir, and showed me a chair. Smiling, I sat down. To preface my later remarks, I light-heartedly said, So, settling some serious business proposition. Lakshmana said, No, sir, nothing of the kind. This man has brought some honey. Don't know which variety. It is thin as water and whitish. Mandana says it is not honey at all. The other man swears that it is pure honey. That's all. I too saw it did look like water. The man who had brought it said it was from coffee blossom. I put 2 drops on my palm of my hand and licked. Heady fragrance of the flowers was unmistakable. I nodded my head to say it was genuine honey. Then, remembering why I had come, I paid the balance of 8 rupees. You needn't have hurried to pay it, sir, said Lakshmana, but was all the same quick in collecting it. I meant to complain about the honey, but before I could, Mandana asked me, Sir, you know Rajkumar? The unexpected question needled me a bit, but I said, No. You know Kalpana, sir? I again said, No. Mandana was deeply disappointed. Lakshmana must have spoken of my connection with the film world, and hence these questions, I thought. Then I said, Mandana, the honey you gave me yesterday is no good. Lakshmana asked, Why, sir, what happened? After listening to me, Mandana said, Sir, it is Gurugi blossom honey. Very sweet. That is why it has become hard. Keep the tin in boiling water for an hour and then you'll see what fine honey we have given you. I wasn't convinced. Mandana looked at my doubting face. Well, sir, he pleaded, if you don't believe me, you can take the coffee blossom honey and return the one we gave you. But let me warn you, it will go sour in 4 months. This, which sounded like an advertisement over Radio Ceylon, settled the issue and I left. Chapter 4. Okay. One morning, Mandana came to see me. When I asked him what had brought him, he said a minister who was also chairman of the Khadi board was coming to Mudigere and I was to write an application urging him to appoint Mandana as beekeeper of the society, and so saying handed me an application form and a blank sheet of white paper. Why did you come all the way from Mudigere? Someone there, I'm sure, would have done this for you. He said that his guru, Carvalho, who was an officer at the Paddy Research Center, had to leave for Bombay to visit his daughter, who had suddenly taken ill. And also there was his own townsman, a Norway Ramaya, living here, and so he thought he could get this done and look up his friend as well. I had not seen Carvalho, but someone around us referred to him as a great botanist, an entomologist of great renown. I also knew people, big planters and landlords, who wanted to impress others by flaunting their acquaintance with him, by quoting some remark he had made in some context. This is how I had come to think of him as a great man. But when Mandana referred to him as his guru, I couldn't swallow it. I thought like I thought that, like many others, he too was using Carvalho's name to hide his own insignificance. Mandana's town, Norway, was a few miles away from my place, at the foothills of Sahadri mountain range. I had heard of the dense forest that were over there through us shikaris visiting Norway every year on the Deepavali Eve. I would like to visit your place sometime, Mandana, I said. Why, sir? What is there to see? It is all trees and endless rain and bloody leeches and harvest destroying wild beasts. He was least enthusiastic about a place which was tucked away like some unknown little universe behind the vast blue Sahadri mountain range. While mentally I transformed myself into Mandana and was writing his application, he asked, Sir, you don't keep bees? Till now, it was dogs and sheep, and bees are all that I need now. But, sir, you don't need to look after them. They don't need to be fed or watered. If you keep the queen bee in a box, they will look after themselves. No, women and children walk around and the bees are a nuisance. They won't hurt a child, sir. Mandana smiled and said, If you peep into the box once a month, it is enough. I shall do that for you if you want, and that is what a beekeeper is supposed to do, you know. Thinking that he would be a source of endless trouble for me if he landed the job, I said, You're welcome to do it, but please don't bother me. Give me a tin of honey a month, and I shall, if you want, write 100 applications for you. But if you have thought of bringing the bees to my doorstep, I shall write an anonymous letter and see that you don't get the job. My fear of the bees made him laugh. Giving him back the application, I said, Is there any job vacant? It has been vacant for the past 3 years, sir, but they haven't filled it up. If by God's grace I get this job, I shall think of getting married this year. Then I'll have to write your wedding invitation also. In great happiness, Mandana displayed all his 32 teeth and said, Thank God, sir. These auspicious words have come from you early in the morning, and hope to God they will come true. See, sir, look at Lakshmana. He's my age, but because he's a Vakaliga, he's married and has a child too. Then he left, but till he disappeared, I could see his spread smile from year to year.